Shalom unto the elect of the nation of Israel, giving all honor and glory and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles of GMS. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and straight to the point, as I am going to try to make it quick so it could be easily digested. And here in this article it reads from Fox News, pretty good source, California advances goal of reparations for black residents. Activists call for $350,000 per person. Current state task force estimates $223,000 for each black Californian who qualifies. So, right now they have Jake, the descendants of Jacob, the so-called blacks, consisting of, the West Indies, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, your Negroes and your Haitians, But it's a lot bigger than that. Our brothers and sisters are the Hispanics and the Native Americans, who dwelling under these curses along with us. But, they got this thing that sounds real good right now, right? And everyone's upon it. And shit, Jake would love to have this extra cash, But what better time for this damn devil to give you an incentive of this kind than right now, because right now a lot of things are going on if you are paying attention. You got the CBDC, becoming more prominent, so I'm sure that it's possible for them to give, wow, this thing is linked in with MasterCard already. But central bank digital currency, we're moving towards a social credit score system. So therefore, they might have strings attached to where for you to refund this money or claim this money, you have to get it in a form of a digital currency, And we know that's demonic. We're not dealing with that. The Lord's not dealing with that with the times we're coming into due to prophecy, and I'm going to prove that. And this is a quick quote or a quick saying from this guy. He's pretty popular. Everyone knows about Rizza, Islam. Islam is going off. We're not dealing with that, but he said something that I could take the spirituality off of it. He says, going into 2023, if this government offers us something to take, don't take it. Let's not have a repeat of the last 300 years, agreed? Because everything this devil has offered us, that's seemingly plausible or that could be gratifying, it's always a string attached. There's always a part of the deal that you don't know about until after, the contract is signed. These devils have fine printing. It's called fine print because it's almost naked, almost invisible to the human eye unless you're doing a diligent search. Along as with when they do these commercials or ads, they have the side effects repeated at the end very, very fast, so you don't even remember, what could possibly happen, So that's this devil for you. I'm going to bring out this quick scripture, and it reads, surely oppression make a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. So, a gift, could destroy man, in the heart really represents the mind because they're all connected through the nervous system, as we know in these scriptures. But, that could be very deceiving. It looks good, but it bites you in the ass later. What happened when they were giving out all these stimulus checks, right? Everyone got $3,000. Oh, America's so great. Shit, a couple weeks after that, you're paying $5, $4, $3 a gallon, some outrageous numbers. So they make sure they get their money back. This country and these devils aren't giving out free gifts. They're not that nice. So you can't be so easily deceived. So going into that CBDC and these social credit score systems, how it may tie into each other. I'm not saying that it will, but there's a high chance that it may. That it's not far-fetched. Verse 16 of Revelation chapter 13 reads, he calls it all small, Salakia. He calls it all both small and great. So whether if you're rich, whether if you have a good status, whether you have poor status, whether you have a crazy reputation, whether if you don't, rich and poor, so whether if you're wealthy, whether if you're not wealthy, whether if you're in the ghettos or the suburbs, free and bond, whether if you're in jail, whether if you have freedom, whether if you're mentally in captivity or physically in captivity or financially in captivity, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and this is already popular in Sweden. They've already been doing these They already been doing things of this sort. So this is nothing new and it's not far-fetched, you know? They have these RFIDs where these people are so-called making life more convenient for them. But hey, in the Bible, this is that 666 that it speaks about. And that, you know, once this thing enters your body, there's no repenting. You know, the Lord is going to thrust through you. He's going to destroy you. So yeah, this is something that we have to be very cognizant about, very alert about, you know, because it sounds good. Hey, I wouldn't mind the extra $200,000, but I do definitely mind having to take a chip or having to take a charagma or you know, having to get it in a digital form that makes me ties into the system and makes me bound into the system and bowing down, you know, to the system. Because this system is the beast that it speaks about. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, you know? So this is that system, that pagan Roman Empire. And I wanted to get into this, you know, because, you know, Jake, you know, the descendants of Jacob, you know, these so-called blacks or these Negroes, since they're not talking about the Hispanics or the natives right now, I'll focus on the Negroes. You know, they've always been about, you know, let's do black power or let's unite, you know, let's get some power of our own, you know. A lot of the lakes that you see today, they may be a national park or a state park, a city park. You know, some people might fish there or, you know, it might be the center of a, whatever the case may be. Just understand that a lot of lakes that you see today were former black towns, former black meccas that had their own businesses and banks and, you know, their own financial system, you know, where the money of the black dollar could just circulate round and round and round and just increase, you know, before a dollar could ever go out, you know, and go into another nation's pocket. Oscarville, Georgia, Lake Lanier is popular weekend. Shit. Let's I'm not gonna waste too much time, but let's just look at this first one. It's probably big as hell. You know, so not, you know, it's known as a state park. Look how big it is. Jeez. Jeez. You see? So this could, and I'm not sure what's their technologies on flooding areas, but see, when the missiles hit this place and the heat starts to dry up these waters, a lot more land is gonna show up. You know, there's a lot of land that's underwater, but these are these devils for you, man. You know, I don't even want to go into that. But yeah, here you are, you're enjoying the elements, right? But you sitting on a whole memorial of black bodies, man. Here you got Benson, Alabama, Kowaliga, Alabama. Kowaliga sounds like a Native American, you know, word. Seneca Village in New York City. Susanna, Alabama, Vanport, Oregon. You know, so they flood. They do all kinds of wickedness, man, and that's that power to do evil that they have, man. That's that sorcery and that's the magic that they can do. And we all know about Tulsa Race Massacre. You know, very prominent black town. You know, that was destroyed. You know, those devils strategically, you know, eradicated these people. The perpetrators, a white American mob. You know, using guns, explosiveness. They'll come in and creeping in like they're our friends and they're trying to do good business, but yet they're like raven and wolves. The same thing that they did to our Gadite and Reubenite brothers and sisters, you know, the so-called Native Americans and Seminole Indians, you know, signing treaties and passing acts and saying we're going to have peace, but yet they come and they use this weapon, which is called a Gatling gun, I believe, something around that sort. So yeah, they come through with these things, right? High-powered, advanced machinery, which is their sword, which is they're blessed with, while Gad is using low-level weaponry like this, bows. You know, how could they compete, man? You know, especially last minute, not having no warning, just being taken over. But hey, these are just curses, you know. These aren't just powers that the white man just has that he just has self-made. These are God-given powers that the Lord has given them. And last but not least, another prominent one is the Philadelphia Move bombing. It was a building, man, pretty much filled with Jakes, man, like pretty much a good project. And what they did was they trapped them inside and then they dropped bombs on the top, so therefore none could escape. It was like a boiling pot, but that's these curses which we're gonna get and explain. So this place is not our rest. We can't be selling our leads here. We will never be able to be successful here. The true reparations I'm gonna show you is in Revelation 13, as we're already in, and it's right here. Bear with me. Verse 10. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth, so that means, if you have understanding, check this out. This is reparations. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So true reparations is us ravishing their houses, us spoiling them back, us taking what is deservingly to us. For I will, verse 2, like we're at 14, let's start at verse 1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. Because when the day of the Lord cometh, it's not going to be nothing nice. The Lord's not going to be handing out flowers. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. The city shall be taken, the house rifled, and the woman ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. So we gonna take over, man. And that's gonna be true reparations. Is us getting what we deserve back, man. Because right now, the only reason we're in this lower state is because we're cursed. And we're only cursed because we didn't hold our heel of the Heavenly Father, which He gave us in verse 15 of Deuteronomy chapter 28. These devils and these other nations aren't special. That's not why they're ruling, and that's not why we're the tail. We're the tail simply because we did not hearken, and because we're a rebellious house. Verse 16 of Deuteronomy 28, cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. So it don't matter if you're in a small town or big town. It don't matter if you go to China or America. You're going to have those eyes upon you where they look at you as very strange, or they look at you as very like, whoa, like these people are in a lower state. Like, damn, he might come to rob me. He doesn't have no money, just looking at you crazy because you're not in the state you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be godlike power. You're supposed to be an angelic, to these people. But yeah, you're mortal just like them on the same level. Cursed shall thy basket and cursed shall thy store. So like I'll read that again. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. So, us trying to have a black Mecca and Tulsa and these black markets, not black markets, but these what do they call Tulsa, Oklahoma? They call it Black Wall Street. So we had our own, pretty much economic and financial forum. That's not possible here. It is possible where you'll have a couple, you have black billionaires, you have successful black people, but as a nation, we won't be able to do that. We have curses upon us where we're set. We have limits upon us. Just because you're in the truth don't mean you have to be broke, but we have limits. You may have a business that the Lord allows you to have and run, right? But it could only reach a certain height. The white man or another nation, if they have a business, they could make as much money as they want to do, And the thing is, you might have the greatest ideas, you don't have the resources. You might have the resources, you don't have the money. You might have the money, you don't have the people. It's always going to be something, especially doing with black businesses. You might get started, you're running up millions and billions. You get sued, or you have a fire, or you die, It's just you won't be able to enjoy your riches or your earnings, your hard works here. Verse 19, cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. Those people in Philadelphia couldn't even make it out. You make it back, they probably thought they were going to sleep, wake up the next day, do their thing. But nah, they got bombed. But that's us too. Spiritually, we getting attacked, man. But those were the main precepts I wanted to bring out in that, So this place is almost done, man. So don't be looking forward to no economic reparations to make you satisfied. That there's no way money could paint the wound that we have. It's like a child. It's like a mother who loses their child. Yeah, the government may give them some money, to help out or whatever to cover the cost, whatever the case may be. Prime example, I had a family friend who lost her daughter in a car accident that she was in with their friends, and the government gave her, probably like $100,000, but that doesn't cover up the wound. That don't just make you forget about the situation and just make you be at ease. Of course, it's cool to wipe some tears with some money instead of not having no money, but that don't wipe the pain away, So we gonna be happy when these devils go into chains. I'm gonna bring out one last scripture. There is no greater. There is no greater thing than to see. There it is. Ecclesiasticus, or the book known as Sirach, chapter 25, verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th, meaning completion, I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, so you that get to reap the benefits of your offspring and see them grow. And he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy, man, So that's why we're in beautiful times. That's why we want to keep doing what we're doing, because we would like to see and witness the downfall of our enemy. We want to chant this bitch down. That's why we do what we do, is because we don't hope these people last another day, man. We wish the Lord would come back tomorrow and destroy their shit, We want to see this thing. We don't want to be in the spirit world. Even though it's going to be crazy down here, this is a testimony that we want to have, not for our own glory, but also more so to magnify the Lord, and his power and this strange salvation, which he shall do if we're those men and endure to the end. Lord, this was edifying and straight to the point. Shalom.